you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to make sure that you do the work internally, that your competition is not with anyone else, that for me, it's every day being the best version of myself and continuing to learn, to grow, but it has to start inward.
I'm so glad to see you, Keshia. Welcome. Everyone who comes on real quick, I always ask them to start with telling me who they are and one thing they love most about who they are.
Ooh, okay. Well, I am Keshia Knight Pulliam, and I am an actress, a chef, a mommy, a philanthropist, entrepreneur, and investor. Pretty much just all around, just what we do as Black women, everything.
Yeah.
And then what was the second part of it?
What is one thing you love most about who you are?
What I love most about who I am is that I was born a priceless original, and that I don't desire nor strive to be a worthless copy.
Okay, that sounds directly quoted. That's good. That's really good. Is that like a mantra or something you've always told yourself, or did you get that from the Bible? Where is it from?
No, yeah, actually, it's just something I say to my girls at Camp Kizzy. Actually, I have a nonprofit. It's all about empowerment and self-esteem for youth, and I, that's just one of those things I tell my girls. I'm like, it's when you're in that 11 to 16 age range specifically, you're so focused on being like everyone else, being accepted, and I just tell them that all the time. Like, you were born a priceless original. Why are you running around trying to be a worthless copy? And I think that's the beauty of every human being, is living in your purpose and being exactly who you are.
That's it. That's all we're here to do. I really love what you were saying about purpose. As we all know, like, we get reminders when we have great losses about how fleeting life is and how temporary it actually is. And so, like, digging into what you're here to do is a lot more important, especially nowadays. Like, we are just in a situation we've never been in. And it makes you think about your life and your impact on the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it's about. We're all born into this world, and we all have very specific destinies and purposes to fulfill, and they're unique, but they're just as important as the next. And ultimately, I know for me, it's about, when you're given this platform of visibility, what are you doing to pay it forward? What are you doing to utilize it to be the voice for the voiceless? How are you leaving an indelible footprint on this world that is better than you found it? So
that's so good. That's good. Better than how you found it, at the very least, because you also have to be okay with knowing that, depending on what your work is and what your walk is in this world, like, whatever you're doing is not actually, you may not see the fruit of it. Like, how,
it's about planting the seeds. It's not your business how they flourish.
That's real. It's not. You have to be okay with the seed being planted. By you. I love that. What seeds are you planting, Keshia Knight Pulliam?
Man, I'm just out here living my life, enjoying it, working hard. Right now we have the House of Pain, a new season that
stay working.
Yes. So we're so excited about that. We're on BET now, and at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Wednesday nights, we have new episodes, so I'm really
excited. 7th season.
Yes, we've been doing this a long time. But I'm really grateful for it and the opportunity, and because, like, we left off with Miranda walking in saying she wanted a divorce. So people can stop stopping me on the street and being like, "What happened? How you leave Calvin?"
You're back.
Listen, I don't write it.
It's coming back. They're gonna get
Yes.
into it. People still
Yes.
gonna stop you on the streets.
People still gonna have an opinion and stop me on the street. That's fine. But yeah, so that we're really excited about. I actually just got back from Vancouver, shooting a Christmas movie for
Oh yeah.
Lifetime. Yeah, I'm getting ready for the holidays with my spices, Keshias Kitchen. We have some great things cooking
I
up.
love that.
So I'm
Listen,
excited.
you didn't even know that Goya and all that was going to be happening with what was going on and the goings ons. And now, like more than ever, I think people are so invested in buying Black.
Absolutely.
But to have seasonings as a Black woman, that's just spot on, sis, because everybody knows we know what we're doing.
Listen, and that's just the
In the
heart of the
kitchen.
home. I know it's the heart of our home growing up. And both my parents cook. I'm the only girl. I'm the oldest of four. My brothers all cook. And I wanted to do something that just made it easy and brought it back. Because like now people are so used to eating out or ordering in Uber Eats or whatever it is that people have almost forgotten. So I was like, let me make it easy for you. You put this on it, just don't burn it and you'll be good.
That's
So
it. Just don't burn it.
just don't burn it. I can't help you with that.
Let's talk about mommyhood, because
Yeah.
you glow, honey. Like,
Thank
she is
you.
so cute.
That
You
is
literally had a little Rudy,
my
and I love
smunchkin
that.
munchkin right there.
She's so cute. How do you feel knowing that now you have created this person
Yeah.
and you are shaping her to be a Black woman?
Listen, I don't have to shape her to be a Black woman. She is a Black
She
woman. That's how
is,
she was
but like
born.
she's gonna be listening to the things
But
that you teach her.
you know, I absolutely adore being a mom, and more specifically, I adore being her mom. She is so awesome. It's the greatest job, the greatest title that I've ever had in my life. And she's such a joy. It's so funny, you know, people bring kids into the world and they feel like they have to impart all this and they have to teach them, but you learn so much from your little ones. Like she teaches me
It's
so
real.
much every day. And I just enjoy being present with her and the conversations that we have. And she's just a joy. Like, I love it. I love being a mom.
Oh, I see it. I see it all over you. And
Yeah.
I know you also like part of the experience is like you experience yourself again, your childhood again through them.
And
What do
that's
you see of you in her?
and that's the craziest part. My family is always, my parents are like, I don't know how you manage to uh, spit out yourself. I'm not sure how you did it. I didn't know it was possible, but she looks so much like me at that age.
She
Her
does.
personality, the things, even her little voice, it's so crazy. And I know from my mom, who also she travels with us, she's my nanny, and she just is like, it's like I'm getting to experience you all over again. I mean, but
Right.
she's definitely her own person. I encourage her to be her own person. It's not about living in my shadow or my footprints. But she is just a whole personality. She's a whole mood every
So
day.
cute. She
Every day.
is. Do you ever think like, oh my gosh, she has the it that I have. Should I put her into this industry?
Well, she's already told me that she wants to be an actor. So, yeah. Um, but and the thing is this, it's like my job as her mom is to support her and to prepare her for the world that she will live in and to be successful. And whatever she chooses to do, I'm going to support her. If she wants to sell snow cones in Alaska, I'm going to be her biggest fan and right there next to her,
My
all of
baby
that.
got her snow cone.
Right? Come get these snow cones. So if she decides to do this, I'm going to support her. If she decides to do something else, it's not going to be any different. So she's going to do some, all I know is she's going to be a big voice and a big personality.
Yeah.
So whatever she does, she's going to do it very well.
Yeah, she got something in her
Yeah.
to give.
But yeah, she said, Mommy, I want to be an actor when I grow up. And I was like, well, okay. I said, but whatever you want to be, you don't have to wait till you grow up to be it.
Yeah.
So
you're such a big part of all Black childhood everywhere. And we got to see you on TV. We didn't know you, Keshia. So what kind of kid was Keshia? And how were you growing up?
You know, I think, there was a lot of things that were very similar, to my character, Rudy, in terms of just her inquisitiveness, her how
So smart.
precocious
Yeah.
you know, all of those things are very much akin to who I just am naturally. But I think that people are beginning or getting the opportunity to experience me. And I've been, pretty open and welcoming. Like, I'm a private person, but I have no issue with sharing, my
Mhm.
life and my experiences. And you get to experience me through the other extensions of me, not just the roles that I take, but, through my spice line, through
Yeah,
my
like
work
you got things
with
going
my
on. Yeah.
nonprofit, the Camp Kizzy Foundation, through the Fearless Fund that we launched last year. It's a venture capital fund investing in women of color businesses. So I feel like all of those different things are pieces of who I am, and you get to experience me, as an extension through those things.
Yeah. And see, listen, Keisha, I'm all about somebody getting a chance to be themselves fully because you know how it is. Like I think before this big Rona reckoning situation that we're in right now, it may have been a little bit harder, or maybe we were getting to a point where people were being a lot more transparent because of social media,
Mm-hmm.
and the access to people's lives. But it just, you never really get a chance to be a lot of things. People want to box you in.
Yeah, I
And
don't
so
believe
I
in
think that,
boxing.
yeah, I think that it's really dope to see someone explore different types of parts of themselves and different
Mm-hmm.
things that they can do or love to do. And like you with your cooking, and you've created this business from it. Like, tell me about the time when you like were cooking and you were like, oh my gosh, I'm good.
You know, I've always, like, since I was like, my friends have always joked and like, you're the Black Martha Stewart, because it doesn't just stop at cooking. Like, I have a
Right. I'm
garden
like, who has spices?
and I, love home, everything home, whether it's having an amazing dinner party to decorating to everything that creates in just that whole feeling of being welcoming and home. That's just who I
Yeah. Yeah.
am. But I'm sorry, what was the original question that you had?
The question was learning, like, that moment that you learned that, like, oh my
Oh,
gosh, I'm actually good at cooking. Like, this is
and that's
next
what I
level.
said. Like, my friends, I've always been the mama. Like, I've always liked cooking. I've always been doing those things. But it wasn't until I had downtime that I'd been wanting to do the spice line for a while. And then I got put on bed rest when I was pregnant.
Mm.
And so I had downtime, but I had a computer. So I had already, had all the pieces in place. And I was like, you know what? Why not now? And so that's when I launched Keshias Kitchen. It's always been a passion of mine. And
Right.
it's like, why now?
No, we love that because cooking is so important. It's such a way, a language of love. It's a love language for
It
me,
is, for sure.
especially.
For sure.
And I think that it's something so special to be able to do that and share that in the way that you are. So you got to let us know, what is the like go-to meal of yours that's like, I gotta impress, and I know they gonna love this.
I don't cook from that place. So I'm a foodie. So a lot of times it's also what it is I desire to eat that moment,
To
whether,
try
it's soul
something, or
food, fried chicken, or if I'm broiling lobster tails or grilling rack of lamb. So it's really what I want to eat in that moment. So like this summer, I've moved more to like kind of pescatarian and vegetarian vegan options. So
feel you.
I've just been exploring that and cooking and learning. I joined a CSA, which is like a farm share. And I did it to try to push the envelope in terms of vegetables, because we kind of get in a rut of like the vegetables that we grew up eating or that we're familiar with, or,
Yeah.
very staple things. So I did that so that every week I get a new variety of things, and that it
Right.
forces me to jump out of my comfort zone. Like, I didn't know I like beets. And then I kept getting these damn beets in my share. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these beets.
Right.
And so I actually was like, okay, I decided to just start experimenting with stuff. So I cut the beets up, I roasted them in the oven, I put some Keshias Kitchen poultry seasoning on them, a little bit of all purpose, roasted them, and they were amazing. And then I realized I like the beet bulb as well as the beet leaf. So then I chopped the beet leaf up kind of like you'd saute spinach or something like that. and it was great. It was like beets two ways. I sauteed the top part, and then
Yes,
I
you
roasted the
gotta be
bulb and then put it on
chocolate.
top. So it's also just, you know, playing with different things and just not being afraid to make a mistake, because that's how you learn.
Yeah, true. So you don't have an ego when it comes to cooking.
It just,
See,
it's
that's
about good
good though,
food.
because I see that's
Good
why God
food.
don't bless everybody with all the gifts all the So seasoning,
Yes.
where did that come from? You just had the like desire to just go into it from this perspective of like, I know what I'm doing when it comes to seasoning food, or like how does that even develop?
Um, it just developed because I don't even know. It was one of those divine inspirations, something that I'd always wanted to do. And I just did it. It's really that simple. I knew that a lot of my friends would call me and be like, okay, how do I do this? Or what do I put on this? And so I just was like, well, let me put it in a jar and let me do something that's all natural, that is what I feed my family. Because I'm a big proponent of that. Like, I believe you can either eat well, meaning organic, good ingredients on the front end, or you could pay for it on the back end, and the form of having a doctor and disease and all of that.
Right.
So, you know, that's just a me thing.
Got you. So Keisha's all healthy. She good to go. She's a Martha Stewart in the kitchen. She's acting all over the place. She's an entrepreneur. You
Yeah.
got a clothing line with what is
Peaches
this?
and Lola.
Yes.
Yes. So Ella really inspired that. And then one of my
Thank you,
great
girl.
girlfriends, Tracy Nicole, she has Tracy Nicole clothing, and we came together to do Peaches and Lola. So we did a capsule collection, but we're going to be doing some new things for the holidays. So just stay tuned. I just like Ella being with her personality. Like, she likes to pick out her clothes. She, you know, and don't take this
She's
wrong.
independent.
I hate stupid clothes for kids. Like, don't put stuff on your kids that you wouldn't want to wear. Like,
True.
I just don't believe in that. So
I
I
hate
wanted
stupid clothes
just
for kids.
like good, easy,
Right.
comfortable clothes. So at Peaches and Lola, we have like just some of those staple pieces. They're unisex. And that's just how it started. Like anything, it's kind of a need of something that I enjoy, that I want to share with other people. We also have some really good body butter and belly butter over at Peaches and Lola that I used when I was pregnant, that, you know, whether you're pregnant or not, it gets the skin right. So we're going to be slowly adding to that as well.
I'm so glad to learn all these things about you. What I really love is that you have this entrepreneur mindset.
Yes.
And it becomes something when you have an interest and a desire. And so I love that you are moving forward with creating businesses in your interests like that, because I'm a possibilities thinker, and I want everybody to be able to have that access to like thinking that way. And where do you even get that type of living and thinking?
You know, I don't know. It's something that's been a part of me from forever. And that's also why we started the Fearless Fund. And because there's so many, what we know is it's not a founding issue, it's a funding issue in terms of Black businesses, and specifically,
Right.
you know, minority women owned Black businesses. And we wanted to be a part of the solution. You know, I'd never dabbled in the whole venture capital world, but what I knew and what I know is that 80% of venture capital is has white males at the helm. So as a result,
Right.
when you look at the businesses that they invest in, it's white male businesses.
Right.
Oh, and literally of the billions of dollars in VC, 0.0006 goes to Black women. And we wanted to change that dynamic and, you know, definitely create a space where we could invest. So I'm really excited about that. It's been a steep learning curve, and anything that I do, I'm not one of those people that, oh yes, and get venture ready. I have to talk about that, because a lot of people, we don't know what is venture. How do I even attract venture? What is scaling a business? What,
Right.
you know, what are all of the, what is your valuation? What are all these numbers and in terms that are thrown around? So we have Get Venture Ready that we're launching. It's a 12-month program at the top of the year. Because as we got into this space, we realized that the biggest gap was the knowledge gap. Even bigger probably than the financial gap.
That's real. Yeah. And that's amazing. So this is a resource for women of color that are entrepreneurs to be able to like learn and
Yes.
have a resource financially to help
Yes.
start businesses.
And it's a master class in it. You don't
That's
have to
amazing.
be a Black woman. You could be whoever is interested. But as you know, 3 Black women being the general partners of the fund, we saw a need in our community, and that's why we're doing it. But it's open
Mhm.
to whomever.
Right. Okay. Well, that is amazing.
Thank
Like,
you.
you're really spectacular. That is just, it's so
Thanks.
nice to see like you doing so much for, the greater good for everyone else.
I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
I think it was Muhammad Ali that said, philanthropy and give back, that's the rent you pay for living on earth.
Mhm.
And it's the truth. Not I believe it, I know it to be true. And
Right.
if we all do our part, it completely changes the paradigm in which we live and exist. And,
Right.
with Black Lives Matter and all of the different movements that are going on right now, it's not about us looking to someone else to validate us or to say that we're worthy or to say that our lives matter. It starts with us. Yes,
Mhm.
it's going to be a collective, to really move the needle and make the changes needed in our country and globally. But,
Right.
we have to start at home.
Exactly. That's so real. And thank you for sharing that. And before you get out of here, because you have just been such a joy and so just centered, I want to know how you stay grounded, how you keep yourself in grounding.
I meditate every day, every day. No, and I do. I'm being silly, but I'm being really, really honest. It's an ever evolving process, and what I know is you can't pour from an empty cup. So
So right.
you have to make sure that you do the work internally, that your competition is not with anyone else. That for me, it's every day being the best version of myself and continuing to learn, to grow, but it has to start inward.
Mhm.
And meditation is one of those things that's been life changing for me.
I know
Um,
that's right.
and even teaching Ella that finding that quiet, because growing up, I think especially like being Black and in the Christian faith, they teach you to pray, to ask God, to pray, but no one ever tells you need to stop and listen to the answer. And that's what meditation is.
Mm.
It's stopping and
Mm.
listening to the guidance. You
That's
have
so
to, if
real.
you asking, at some point you got to listen.
Like, now I'm just gonna drop this off. Here's my wish list. Thanks, God. See you later. That's so real. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so absolutely. And just doing the work internally. Happiness is a journey, and it's one that begins and ends with you. You can't look for it external of you. And all of the other things are, just the sprinkles. And I always approach everything in life from a spirit of abundance and knowing that there's enough for everyone.
Mm.
And that,
Same,
you
sis.
know, it, your energy goes where your energy flows where your attention goes. So policing my thoughts and ensuring that my thought, word, and deed are in alignment with one another, because we're constantly as people manifesting our reality.
Right.
And when you realize the power of that, you, or at least I can speak for me, I'm that much more aware of not only what I'm thinking, but what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And if all of those things are an accurate reflection of my desired outcome.
Yes, the be and the do and the have. That's like,
Yes.
it's the easiest way. Well, not the easiest, but the only way to be able to live a life of any type of like happiness. You have to be, you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do. I think people miss that part in the manifestation talk.
Yeah.
In order to have. I
And be
always have
grateful. And be grateful. Be
and be
grateful for
grateful.
all that you have. Because so
Yeah.
often we spend so much time wanting the next thing or what it's going to look like on this side or when I get here.
It's
Be
always
happy with where
climbing,
you
always,
are.
yeah. It took me a long time in my life, honestly, to realize like girl, the climbing is the part. Like, that is the stuff.
Enjoy
like,
the process. Be present in the moment. Because
mm-hmm.
time is the one commodity you don't get back. When it's gone,
Real.
it's gone.
Real. Listen, Keshia Knight Pulliam, what a joy. Like, you know how much, as a Black woman, you know I love you. You know you have been such a just staple in my life, and I never knew you. But I'm just so glad.
Now you do.
Now I do. And it's so dope to see you as a whole grown woman doing her thing so well, so wonderfully, and giving back to people in the way that you are, being this amazing, beautiful mother that you are. I really hope people got a chance to know you a little better in this interview, because I'm in love.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Yes.
you having me. I appreciate your time.
Yes.
And, you know, it's important for us to continue to have these kind of dialogues and share, because you never know what part of your journey and your story is going to not only help, but touch someone else's life.
Right.
And it's just so important. We can't just share our highlight reel, but we got to share, you know, we got to share the whole parts, all of it.
You're so right. And it's so hard to do that sometimes, because, you know, folks are going to be judgmental no matter what it is and what your intentions are, right?
Listen.
So how do you even feel like sharing when you know people are going to just judge and drag and drag and judge?
Well, because that's not my business. I say an opinion's like an asshole. Everyone got one, but don't have nothing to do with me. So
that's not my business.
Not my business.
And that's as simple as that. Listen.
But
thank you.
Yes, well, watch The House of Pain. We on BET.
Yes.
8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central.
7. So glad to see you. I hope this won't be the last time, Keshia Knight Pulliam.
Well, let me know. I'd love to come back. So
anytime.
Have a wonderful day.
Anytime.
And I love your shirt. That's cute.
You see, we had to have your queen. Obviously, I'm partial. The queen of everything.
I'm partial, so
you're partial, but you know we love Aunt Viv and then
we love all of them, but
Nikki Parker,
we love them all.
Yes, and Diane Carroll, all great TV moms. Yeah. But thank you so much again for being here, and I'll see you again soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.